So a lot of people, like a lot of times people say, Blade, why are you so relaxed and chilled? And just kind of, it's kind of my nature. It's just kind of how I've been. Like when I was younger, I was a little bit more rambunctious or whatever. But it's more so just that I'm big into patterns and I'm big into like listening to stories and I kind of see how things play out. And kind of like what I talk about with the butterfly effect, and then why I talk about the butterfly effect being such a deep movie is because in reality, nothing in that movie actually existed because he was able to time travel. He realized the error in his ways, this and that. He realized that the one thing he cared about so much in life was that he loved that girl so much that he hurt her so much, so it's better just not to even be in that situation. So, I don't know. I've seen so many scenarios played out, and it's kind of funny because like the whole Call of Duty scene and the whole Call of Duty cycle. It's like I've seen it played out, and it's just like it doesn't need to be talked about. And I I was at the hospital recently because I got this big like tennis ball size like abscess on the side of my jawline, and so I was in the hospital and I was sitting there and they were taking my blood pressure, and I'm gonna be honest, my blood pressure is kind of high just for the simple fact that I haven't really been taking care of myself, and I'm getting back to that. You guys don't have to worry. Like, really thought-provoking comments are saying, Blade, we really want you to take better care of yourself so that you can be here for longer, and I get that, and the key is that life is too short. You kind of have to slow it down, and one thing that one thing that I found kind of interesting is that I continued to take my blood pressure, and I was sitting there and I was watching the little, the hospital TV, and for whatever reason, there on the TV there was a thing about this girl who had plastic. Her name was Shyla Hershey, I think it was, and she was this Brazilian girl, and she basically just kept on getting boob implants. And I'm really anti boob implants, but like these look good. And when she was doing the interview and her boobies were heaving or whatever, I kind of zoned out, and they actually took my blood pressure, and I didn't even notice that they took my blood pressure. My blood pressure was way better, and it's kind of like a Zen thing. Like I know it sounds absolutely ridiculous, and I know it sounds a little silly, but like one of the things that calms me down and just simplifies things is tits, is boobs, is fucking dairy cannons. And I don't know what it is about them, man, but like I just know that visually when I see, you know, the perfect god art form of boobs, I'm just happy. I'm just in a better, jolly, awesome place. And I know it sounds absolutely ridiculous, and not saying that I don't ever get angry or upset or I ever fucking complain, because you guys know I complain about a lot of stuff, but like at the same time I'm more about the kind of meditation zen, like let's just relax kind of thing, and the thing that does that for me is boobs. Like boobs are such a strong visual thing for me that when it does I tend to kind of not listen around me. It's almost like I only have, when you start a video game and they're like you can use attributes for, you have 50 attributes to use, and you have these 10 things, and you can either spend a lot on mobility or you can spend a lot on this, but then you're going to be lacking in strength. It's kind of like when you play Fight Night, right? When you play Fight Night and they say you have so many points to start off your character. For whatever reason, when I visually look at boobs, when I see a nice chest or whatever, it seems as if I put so much of my attributes, just dump it all on my eyes, and the whole listening thing or sense of smell or whatever kind of, that level kind of goes down just because I'm just happier doing that. Now, when a girl is talking to me and she has a nice rack or whatever, I'm not just gonna be the dude that's like, boobs. It's like that's not the thing at all. That's not what I'm doing. Like I have more respect for women just to just stare at their breasts. You know what I mean? But like at the same time, like I'm aware. and I feel like it's almost like looking at the sun. Like you can't, you're gonna be aware of the sun. Like when you walk outside, you're gonna be aware of that bright ass thing in the sky, but you're not gonna be, you're not just gonna stare at it. So I don't know. Like a lot of times, like a good example is when I get into lobbies. A lot of times, what happens is like the people will be like, "Oh my god," they're like, "Oh, that's the fake Blade," or "Oh, that is Blade." It's just like, and a lot of times I don't plug in my mic, or unless it's just someone saying, "Hey, Blade, love your videos, bro." I might put on my mic and be like, "Hey, thanks, man, I appreciate it." I don't like the whole people treating me like I'm something special just because I play Call of Duty or I make videos. But a lot of people get really excited about it, and I don't like to plug my mic in because then it turns into like a kind of like this weird Call of Duty press conference where I have to answer a lot of questions. And when I play Call of Duty, I like to lose track of time. I like to just kind of zone out and be that way, because if I just sit here and just overanalyze everything and overthink everything, it's not good. And it's better for me to just kind of chill out, zone out, and do my thing. And boobs and Call of Duty and other things allow me to do that, to basically make me a chiller, more interesting, fun person. So, only use me blade from the iPhone. Peace and butt grease.